Okay, we're gonna look at some bank reconciliation here. And this is company Chavez Company most recently reconciled its bank statement book balances of cash on August 31st. And it reported two checks outstanding, number 5888 for 1028 and number 5893 for $494. Check number 5893 was still outstanding as September 30th. The following information is available from a September 30th reconciliation. Down here it says additional information. Check number 5904 is correctly drawn for 2090 to pay for computer equipment. However, the record keeper misread the amount and entered it in the accounting records with a debit to computer equipment and a credit to cash of 2060. The NSF check shown in the statement was originally received from a customer, S. Nilsson, in payment of her account. Its return has not yet been recorded by the company. The credit memorandum is from the collection of a $1,485 note for Chavez Company by the bank. The collection is not yet recorded. So we've got bank statement information here, and we've got information here from Chavez Company's records and their balance on their books. So I've got a little reconciliation table here, and we're going to start filling that out. And the thing with bank and reconciliation is it's always as simple as knowing what you know that the bank doesn't know and what the bank knows that you don't know. So the side that we don't know for is the side that we have to make an adjustment to. So when we look at this, we can start on either side or we can just go down through. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to look at this bank statement because there will be things on here that we won't have, the company won't have in their books. So when I'm going down through this statement, I see one thing here on September 17th. There's $600 for an NSF that was mentioned down here. The company would not know about this. So that's going to be a deduction. I guess first thing we ought to do is put our balances in. From the bank statement, we can see they have a bank statement balance of $18,453. We're going to put that in. And I've already set these tables up to add anything that should be added and subtract anything that should be subtracted so we get a balance down here. So we got the bank at 18,453. Let's look at Chavez. They're down here. Their balance at the end at September 30th is 17,404. So now that we have those, let's go back to this NSF. The bank knows of this because this is on the bank statement. So because we don't know about it, we have to adjust. And what NSF means is if somebody gave us a check that did not have sufficient funds in their account to cover it, so we have to deduct that from our side. The other thing that we have to do here is, let's move this down. Put a description in here of NSF check. The other things that we have, just looking at the bank statement, we have interest on September 30th. Interest would be an addition to our account. So on the books, we need to add the interest. Do that here, and that was $12. And then we have this credit memorandum, which was from a $1,485 note. So because that's on a bank statement, we didn't have records of it in our books. We would put it here. And we'd add that in because that's a note that somebody paid to us. Okay, so we've got some additions in here. And that does pretty much everything for our bank statement. So now we want to go look at what Chavez has on their books and how we can make adjustments to things. So the cash receipts are the deposits. So what we want to do is we want to look at what Chavez has on their books for deposits and compare that to what the bank has. And anything that's off or missing, we need to adjust for. So the deposits, September 5th, 1103, that's here. September 12th, 2226 is there. The 21st, we have 4093, that's there. The 25th, 2351 is there. September 30th, the 1682. That is not here. So we know about that. That is a deposit in transit, meaning we made the deposit. The bank just doesn't know about it yet because they haven't processed. So since we deposited 1682, we need to add that to the bank as a deposit in transit. And the amount there again was 1682. Okay, so that's all the deposits. So let's look at payments, but also at the top, remember we had that check 5893 was still outstanding as of September 30th. It's not listed in our checks, but it is listed up here. So let's start with that. And that was for $494. So basically, we wrote a check that still hasn't cleared the bank. So we know about it, the bank doesn't. So we have to take that away. And that was check 5893. And again, that was for $494. Now let's look at the other things we have down here for checks and see if those are in the bank statement. So 5901 for 1824, that's there. 5902 for 719 is there. 5903 for 399 is there. 5904 for 2060. That's the check that was for 2090. So the thing is, the company recorded it for 2060, but the bank recording is the correct recording. We wrote the check for $2,090, but mistakenly we recorded in the books for $2,060. So that means we have to take $30 off of our side because we misconstrued the check. We made a mistake. Check was that 5904, and that's $30. Okay, so where were we at? 5904 was 2060. That was the one we just changed. So let's look. 5905, 937. That's there. 5906 for 982. And that one is not there. So remember, this is a check that we wrote. The bank doesn't know about it yet, so we have to adjust the bank side since they don't know. And this was 5906. So if we wrote a check, it decreases the balance, so it'll decrease here. And that's 982, so let's go down and check the rest of the checks now. 5907 for 213, that's there. 5908 for 388 is not there. So 5908, we're going to put that in, check 5908, because the bank has not received that check yet, and that was for $388. And then we look at check 5909 for 1807, and that is there. So if we look now at our reconciliation, we've went through the bank statement, we've went through Chavez's records, we've went through the additional information. So here what we can see, if we look at all this, our bank and our book side, are both balanced. So what that means is our reconciliation is done and we have done it properly. Because of the length of this video, I won't get into journalizing these transactions right now. That may come in another video, but I hope this helps with some bank reconciliation. Remember, all we're looking for are the things that the bank does not know that we don't know and adjusting the bank side for that. And then we're looking for things that the bank knows that our company's books don't have, and we're going to adjust our company books for that. I hope this helps with bank reconciliation. And with that, I'll say have a wonderful day. Bye.